mother said that she's going to kill me.
You're adopted and no one loves you.
My mom fighting with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend's getting physical.
My mom died.
When the doctor told me that I had cancer, that kind of sucked.
When my parents were banging,
Yes.
and I heard, "Oh, Michael!
Yeah.
Oh, Michael!" Here's the kicker: my dad's name isn't Michael.
My mama told me she on me when she gave birth.
That happens usually.
Still don't want to hear it though.
When they giving birth, because it's just like, you know, everything just goes. You just
That before they're all packaged and colored, hot dogs are green.
I wish I never heard that how my ex was cheating on me the whole time.
My biggest insecurity. Dude, I'm gonna hit you with a teardropper. I can't have kids.
My dick.
Hold on, I retracted my answer. I'm going with that one.
It's too small, dude. I can't even see it.
Well, I'm a nudist. I'm not insecure about anything. I have a really small penis, so I have to make up for it in confidence.
I feel like a failure all the time. That's my biggest insecurity, failing at life. Why are you inside me, exactly?
Literally everything about myself, from how I look to my voice, and my social skills.
But I haven't gotten laid in 2020.
Staying a virgin.
Letting the one that got away get away.
Not seen my dad for the last time.
The night before my father passed away, I had a chance to stay up and talk to him, and I didn't. I went to bed, and then I woke up to him dead.
Not spending enough time with my mom would probably be my biggest regret.
She dumped me for another guy. We've been together for 2 years, and she left me for this guy who's got more money than me. Yeah, she's a gold digger. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's sad. I was like, that shit. I started grinding, got my job, making that bread, and now boom, I'm still broke. Stop laughing. This is serious, bro.
Well, it was when I woke up to screaming in my house and finding out my mother had committed suicide.
Jesus Christ, he really hurt me emotionally and made me question my own self-value.
Probably when I was about 7, when my older brother killed himself, and my mom kind of left me and my little brother to take care of ourselves.
My waifu turned out to be a trap.
Finding out that my friend was actually a terrible person made me think that incest and all those things were good things and that I should indulge in them, but it was actually really toxic and I was still very young and very gullible.
I haven't been on this earth for too long, but I bet it's probably gonna definitely take a turn at some time, because life, it's not nice. You can get through it.
I'm still broke, but it's not always about the money, right? It's about your mind. You ever seen One Piece? Yeah, then you know what I'm saying, bro. It's all about your vision. You want to be the greatest pirate? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You want to be the greatest pirate? You go ahead and get it.
I thought
Honestly,
One Piece
bro,
was about
I have
friendship.
no idea what I'm talking about, bro. What?
And this is about my dad too. When I was little, I went in his bed while he was resting and I fell asleep right beside him. And when I woke up the next morning, and I put my hand over his mouth to see if he was breathing, and he wasn't breathing.
I'm adopted. I got taken away from my mom, and the most heartbreaking thing is I was away from my mom, and the whole time I knew that I could be with her. It was just no one would let me.
Go check it out. All I heard was choking noises from my mother. At the time, I didn't know what she was doing. Well, to whoever's listening, you can probably guess what she was doing. Let's just say she had really bad depression.
Probably being stuck in a wheelchair for a while. So I got shot in Afghanistan, and recovery took like a year, and that was probably the most depressing moment of my entire life.
You join the military and your girlfriend cheats on you and shit, right? We were together for like 3 years before I even went. I went through the hardest training of my life, which took about a total of like a year and a half before I actually got to come back home.
For the 3 years that I've been here, it changed me completely because I used to be extremely depressed. It was like hard to play other games that I didn't really connect with that well, so I never really talked to anybody. But when I finally got my headset, I was able to be more interactive and talk to people now. It's changed me a lot.
She couldn't take care of me because she was a drug addict and a drug dealer, so I got taken away, and so did my brother and my sister, and we went into foster care for 6 years. I had 6 different homes, and then we're all in a adoptive home now, but my brother, he's in juvie because he's smoking crack a lot and doing weed and heroin.
It's been like 5 years? Yeah, 2020. Even though we moved from my old place, I have new friends and new experiences. And put together, it's like a new adventure. I'm not gonna be depressed because that's not fun.
Since I have anonymity, I will be this
right here and now. I am fundamentally not a good person. I have done a lot of bad things.
I once tried to actually kill my parents, and I feel so guilty about it, like for real.
That one day I feel so angry so much, and I hurt my mom.
I value truth, and again, I'm gonna go to the dark side because that is where my guilt is.
I think, for me, me talking to a hacker.
I have a disorder called selective mutism, and it's an anxiety disorder. Public situations, you physically can't speak even though you might want to. It's like you're paralyzed, not really paralyzed, but it's like
your mouth just won't do what your brain wants it to.
When I was a bit younger, I was experimenting with my orientation and everything like that, and I got my first boyfriend. This man made me feel like the sun was something he built in his tool shed every morning before I woke up, so I could wake up and look out the window and see it and realize that life was beautiful and was built for me. I had never had someone who cherished my thoughts and my wants and me. But the problem is I've always suffered from depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And I broke off our relationship in a very bad way, I have to say, because I didn't want him to deal with the pain and the suffering because I thought I wasn't going to stay alive. I didn't want to give him a dead boyfriend.
I guess my uncle taking his own life and the life of his child at the same time.
I got punched in the face at a homeless shelter for being gay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see crying as a negative thing. I kind of see it as letting your soul just breathe. You're letting it out.
This is a little bit sad and it's a little bit personal. So a few months ago my grandma died, and the last thing I ever said to her was I hate you, because she stole money from my parents, and I've just not been myself for the last few months.
Because I attempted suicide, so yeah, it was a lot.
None of his parents showed up for his birth. That's my story. They just adapted it from me. It was one of the most emotional points in my life, and I'm crying just thinking about it. I have to go. I'm so sorry.
I don't cry at anything besides death. My stepfather would yell at me if I cried as a child, so.
Prison. Your whole life is on pause and you can't do shit about it. Have you ever felt the emotion getting your freedom taken away?
I lived through the Libyan Revolution War, and that really haunted me, and it gives me panic attacks from time to time. I was in 6th grade and I used to go to sneak in school, and most of my friends in childhood are dead now. 2 of them got shot in front of me in class. And now I am 18 years old, studying in my senior year. I f***ed up my future and I really feel ashamed to my parents. I tried talking to professionals and people about my depression from my insecurities and so on, but nothing helps.
I was fired from my job that I'd been at for 2 years, and I started to go down a very dark path. I lost a lot of weight. I had no idea what the meaning of life was. To be honest, I was going to kill myself. I walked out to the middle of the forest to the most beautiful spot I knew, the place I went to almost every day. And I took a shotgun and I put it up against the top of my mouth and I said, do it. I decided, after sitting for quite a long time, but what I found while I was out there was the love of my family, the warmth of my family, because they really did love me. Didn't matter how low I got or if I lost my job, they would love me and take me in. Life is about what you make in between, not the death at the end.
Even if you feel like you're unwanted and not needed, there is always going to be somebody out there that needs you at some point in life. It may not be now, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be years, but eventually someone will come into your life that you need and that they need.
You don't like end your pain, like you just pass it on to other people, like your friends, your family, your loved ones, just people that are close to you in general.
You want me to be honest? Every morning I wake up, I go to work, I drive an hour back home, spend a fortune on gas, and I'm always happy when I get home because I know that VRCHAT is a thing and I can be Kermit the Frog in a leather jacket with Kermit the Frog with a guitar any night.
Ooh, can I have
that? That's a good feeling.
I just always never really had a real reason to just live, you know? I didn't really feel like I had any dreams or accomplishments or anything, so just I was like, you know what? Life is not worth it if I'm not worth it. But then, before I even started, going through the whole thing, I just started thinking, well, what's gonna happen to my mom? And I just kept thinking, and I kept thinking a little too much. I guess enough to just save my own life, that I just realized my mom has always been here for me, so has my dad. And I guess they went through so much already that a parent shouldn't be burying their own child. But if I do go through with what I want to go through, then they're gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to, go through the whole mourning process all over again. Because you raise this baby, you raise it to have a beautiful life, a beautiful job, beautiful relationships and all that. And then all of a sudden, it takes its own life. All because the world around it is cruel enough to convince it it's worthless. Reality has so much worth.
I feel like I've been born and I owe it to the world to do something meaningful with my life.
I don't know, so you can keep paying your taxes to the government. What kind of a question is that? Ask a better question. What do you think of being profound with this bullshit?
This one really hurt me a lot, but it's a good learning lesson is what I use it as. Basically, my best friend and I, we always had this hangout spot, and it was in front of this abandoned school. We'd always just go there, sit down and just talk, just like, kids do. And two people come around the corner and they assaulted us with a machete. I watched my best friend get stabbed to the point where he passed away, and I did not get out, got free. I have scars on my back from this incident. It shows you how short life is, how I could have just died then, and I was 12 years old. That's how short life is. I mean, he was 12 years old and he passed away.
I lost a really close friend to me. He sent me a text, and the next day, I saw over the news that he had got shot and killed.
After dating her for a decent amount of time, I can't even remember how long it was, but it was definitely like a year plus. After going through all of that, towards the end, things kind of weren't working out, and eventually we had kind of a serious conversation. She was like, yeah, so basically, I want to be a guy.
When my aunt died, she died from liver cancer. She drank too much alcohol.
When my best friend's son got diagnosed with leukemia.
I could watch 9/11 with my naked eye, and I could probably not cry. Well, actually, I know for a fact I would not cry.
Nothing. I don't cry. But now I'm just too dead inside to cry.
I mean, I have to go so far back, man, because society kind of teaches you not to cry as a man. Like, you gotta man up, you gotta be the man, shut your shit up and get on with life. That's what all men are told to do. That's what, well, yeah, it is bullshit, right? It's totally bullshit. But that's what society does to us, it kind of cripples people.
When stuff like that happens, it really opens up your eyes to what really you have. I used to be this kid that always take things for granted, and I'd always spend like hours and hours and hours on games and ignoring my parents. Granted, that seems kind of quite funny because I'm on a game right now.
When somebody tells you something, even if it's mean, it's not as painful as you getting ignored, bro. Getting ignored is it's a response, and it's a powerful one.
Probably when I was told that my parents were dead. That sucked.
Someone called me the hard R yesterday. Hurt my feelings.
I think I'm fat, but I'm not.
That my dad died. Discovering a family member passed away.
It's called You're a Mistake. That's what I've been told.
Whoa!
Yo, Simon, we need to pull the plug. The power plug for your mom in the intense care. We decided to kill her. I think that's the most...
Okay. Yeah, okay. Nice.
Is that okay? Cause you said it 6 times, meaning your pressure is really high.
I was in my parents' house for 2 years, not doing anything, just sitting on the computer playing. And one day my father snapped and said, you're just f***ing useless. Well, he didn't say only that, but that was the main idea of it. He just, he get me crying, saying that what he said was true, but truth hurts. But I think it's because of that encounter with my dad that I just got back on my feet.
Life is like this. Life is gonna hit you hard, and you can't hit harder than life. And this is from Rocky, and I live by this, but it's life is gonna knock you down, and it's gonna try to keep you down. But what makes you stronger is fighting against life and keeping yourself up, no matter how hard life hits you. Just keep going. That shows how strong you really are.
I'm not gonna lie, last night actually, I was on here and just got all sad, and I had a big group of friends around, and they were all comforting me, and it was really nice and wholesome and kind of got me a little teary-eyed, you know? Kind of put on a mask, you know, like a lot of people do, and just not really worry about it, and then sometimes the mask slips a little.
Yeah, it's time I realized my girlfriend was a trap.
I'd say the first time I met my girlfriend, I really loved my girlfriend, man.
My first time in VR, the opening credits made me tear up because it's like, this is amazing. It's gaming world, man. We're actually in it now.
Honestly, just being alone with your thoughts.
You see, it's what you don't cry about that matters.
I asked my uncle to go to the store for me, and that like haunted me because he never came back because he was killed while going to the store for me. So like I feel like I kind of blamed myself for that, like asking him because I was being impatient. I kept bugging him like, go to the store, go get me some chips. I was very young. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he suffered for it. Well, we all did, you know.
You know, I've kind of just like grown this personality for myself ever since I was a kid, right? And I'm not a big fan of the personality that I've grown. It's just like I've just become so like mean and so sarcastic. I've been trying to fix it for like these past years, and I joined a really friendly community trying to combat that. But it just feels like I've come back to this toxic mindset constantly, and you know, no matter what I do, I become so toxic. And I feel like one of the big factors for that toxicity is coming from my computer and this addiction that I've had since I've had a computer for like, I don't know, 10 years of my life.
I would probably regret not going to college because I started working before I got to college because I wanted money and not debt. But it would be fun to actually go to college though. Probably, maybe.
It's stupid because it's little stuff. Because I don't feel really intense very much. Like, just little feelings mean a lot more to me, I think. When Fred Rogers died, you know, Mr. Rogers, Twitch was streaming his entire for like a week. And just like watching that and like seeing the purity of it made me want to cry.
I didn't go to mental hospital and mental doctor, but I think I have a mental disease. I'm afraid going outside. How old are you? Very rude boy.
Oh, go party your mommy.
I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care what people think. I don't really have insecurities. I just kind of live life doing whatever. If someone hates me, fuck them, you know what I'm saying? It's me. Nothing I can really change about that.
I think girls are scary.
What?
I don't know, it's kind of like disappointing people, I guess. I feel like I make a real good first impression a lot of the time, but then I'm like, oh, these people think I'm this and that now. And then I just convince like, oh man, that would probably be my insecurity, like disappointing people, I guess. Like no one's actively walked up and said, you know what, dude, you used to be cool, what happened? But it's easy to get paranoid that that's just what they think anyway.
I haven't really told a lot of people about, there was a time a couple years ago where I had a rough, it was just a rough part of my life, and I didn't really go outside, and I kind of shut myself off from my friends, and eventually I just put a gun on my lap, and I was like, alright, I had a good run, this is it, I'm done. And then my dog bust down my door, because she demands attention at all times, and I just kind of put her head in my lap, and I was like, oh can't do it today, I gotta feed my dog. And I haven't touched a gun since. She's my greatest companion. She sleeps with me every night, just never leaves my side, so there you go. You know, a part of me that many people haven't heard.
I once pushed my grandma down the stairs and she died.
Leaving my friend behind while he got shot.
Not spending as much time as I could have with my family.
It was cheating on my girlfriend, but I guess it's led to being one of my better decisions in life, and that's not because of the action that I did, but it was because that was the action that made me understand that I didn't want to be like my father.
There really isn't any kind of justification for what I had done, but it was heartbreaking for me.
I mean, I know mine, but I don't know if I can say that to the public.
Being a surgeon, bro, 100%. It's nice on paper, sucks being a surgeon. A lot of hardships, a lot of deaf people, a lot of hard decisions. It's killing me. That's why I got my depression, bro. That's why I'm escaping into VRC to talk with random people and befriend them.
I mean, I'm not gonna go to jail or anything. I mean, why not? The worst decision I ever made was believing a married man was in love with me. I should not have believed him.
My parents sat me down. Well, my mom and my stepdad sat me down. They told me my dad died in he just had like liver failure. Yeah, just like the sudden, just like the.
It's okay.
How fast it'll happen, you know. Love you, Tigger.
I love you, Squirtle. Buff Squirtle. Bring it in. It's gonna be okay.
Everybody,
make sure to stay strong if anything is going on in your life, and peace out.